Alright, this is the video discussion for the Central Minnesota Weather Blog recorded on January 14th. I will try to make this as short as possible. There's a lot to go over here. I'll be discussing mainly the next week's warm-up and how that will affect the southern and central portions of the state, but I'll also touch a little bit on the end of the month and into February's weather. As I showed in the previous video, this is the current weather pattern across the United States. The Arctic jet stream is sitting right here. It's not quite extending into the northeastern part of the United States like I had previously suggested. And here is the southern jet, which will actually have a very potent storm moving along it starting tomorrow and continuing into the weekend, affecting much of the south and into the mid-Atlantic with heavy rain and some wind. As you can see here, very warm temperatures will be affecting the United States for the next few days here. 40-degree temperatures are extending well into North Dakota and almost making it to the Canadian border. They might actually make it to the Canadian border. And this trend will continue, this warming trend will continue. And I want to draw your attention for a second to the cold Arctic air mass up in Canada. This is the air mass that had been affecting much of the central United States the past several weeks and past 2 months rather, and it has now retreated into Canada. So I want you to keep your eye on this little thing down here. This is the center of a low pressure system that is developing in the vicinity of the panhandle of Florida. It will scoot along the northeastern coast into the mid-Atlantic, which will indirectly have an effect on the weather in central and southern Minnesota. But for now, the temperatures continue to warm across central and southern Minnesota, making it well into the 30s by Saturday. Here's our storm sitting on the east coast, off the coast of Virginia and North Carolina. This high pressure system up here will be forced to stop its progression eastward as the storm approaches. Consequently, the high pressure will begin to sink southwest into the United States that way, the only way it can move. So temperatures will gradually get cooler by the beginning of next week. They will not fall to normal levels, but they will get cooler. And I think these values might be a little too low, but the potential does exist for high temperatures not to make it above 20 degrees. So the short-term forecast through Sunday, January 17th features above average temperatures as high as 12 to 20 degrees above average in some places. These above average temperatures will cause foggy mornings, foggy and drizzly mornings, and the drizzle may fall and occur below freezing temperatures some mornings. So there could be icy patches on the road. So if you're traveling between now and Sunday, just be aware of that in the morning, generally before 9 a.m., that there could be patchy ice on the road due to freezing drizzle. Here's the 7-day forecast. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will generally be about the same, with fog and drizzle possible in the morning and patchy clouds for the remainder of the day. The high temperatures will generally be in the low to mid 30s, but on Saturday there could be a few locations that top out close to 40. Low temperatures will be in the mid to upper teens, possibly a few lower 20s in some locations. Monday, Tuesday will be about the same as well, with highs in the low to mid 30s, and on Tuesday there could be a few lower high temperatures with highs in the upper 20s. Tuesday will feature a few more clouds than Monday and the weekend had, due to a possible storm system approaching for Wednesday and Thursday. Low temperatures on Monday and Tuesday will generally be in the upper teens to possibly as high as the upper 20s by Tuesday night. For Wednesday and Thursday, there's the potential for a weak weather system to affect the central and southern portions of the area. Details are very uncertain right now, with us still being nearly 7 days out, but high temperatures will range from the upper 20s to the upper 30s depending on how the storm system pans out. The weather becomes very unclear beyond the 7-day forecast, but there is the potential for stormy weather, cold weather, and a major pattern shift to occur. As I said, there is the potential for some big storms in the long range. One of the computer models that forecasts the long range weather has been showing numerous storms running about within the last week of January into the first week of February, and there could be many storms in this time frame, and instead of looking at each individual storm, one needs to look at the idea just knowing that there will be many storms in that time frame. If this storm were to occur, this is a storm that this computer model has been showing. This storm would occur, this would be the center of its location on the 25th of January. There would be a very wet, heavy, wind-driven snow in the Dakotas, a rain-changing to snow situation in Minnesota and Iowa, and a quite nasty severe weather outbreak from southeast Wisconsin, southern Michigan, down through central Ohio, into the Gulf states, back into Texas, and into Missouri. Another potential major change in the long range is the temperatures. As I showed in the previous video, there's something called the AO index that helps forecast the very long range weather, but there's also something called the NAO. The AO is more for the Midwest, and the NAO is more for the Northeast. The AO has continually been showing this increase in the index going positive by the beginning of next week and dropping off substantially after that. This dropping off, once the AO index goes negative, that usually means a cold and stormy weather pattern is about to break out, and this would indicate sometime within the last week of January extending into February is when that would occur. The NAO is more for the Northeast, but when the NAO goes positive for the Northeast, as the general consensus is on the NAO, there's a few members that would bring it negative, but for the most part it would remain positive or near neutral. This would indicate warmer and drier conditions for the Northeast, which would mean wetter and stormier, colder conditions for the Midwest and central part of the country. I hope you have enjoyed watching this briefing. If you have any questions about the forecast I presented, or the long range, or the short term, anything in between, send me an email, centralmnwx@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, or post a comment on the blog. If you have any comments about the video, also let me know so that I can improve the videos for the future. And I apologize for the length, and I hope you enjoyed the video.